Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday! Welcome to Game Day Live, presented by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Crew Brew. My name is Vinnie, Parise, and I am very excited to be here with you today as the New Jersey Devils are set to take on the Seattle Kraken. Welcome to all fans watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is you get your podcasts. I am here with my good friend Shorts Guy. Shorts Guy, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? Here we are again, a little later than normal, much later than normal. And, the Devils haven't looked very good. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, Vin. I hate to say this. The Devils are going into the perfect storm tonight, where Grubauer has been playing like crap. And every time the Devils play a goalie that's been playing like crap, guess what they don't do?
They don't score.
They don't play like crap.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
no, that is absolutely
I'm a little worried.
True.
I'm a little worried.
That is absolutely true. Charge! I know I'm probably a little late. Charge!
Sorry. Yeah, it's. You know what, Vin? This is the latest game of this Western swing, so we got to be grateful about that. It's a little bit easier for you than it is for us. It starts at 9:00 your time. 10 o'clock here. We got Michael Descala, and the group says he's live from behind the Devils warm-up net, which is awesome. Michael, that's so cool. You got to let us know what you see, so throw that into the chat, please. Josh just says stop the skid, like a dry slip and slide. Yeah, we got to stop this skid, Vin. That's the big thing. We got to stop the skid. But I was thinking about this today, Vinny. Hear me out on this one.
All right.
So the Devils have stumbled out of the short Christmas break, I guess you could say, right?
Yep.
It's not been very good.
No.
And we're not doing very well right now. And I was thinking about this going into February. We don't play very many games. We have a 2-week break. I'm kind of hoping that maybe the Devils use this opportunity to learn how to come out of a break hot. And they figure that out now instead of going through it in March. And go through their skid early, like right now, and learn from it now and be better for the end of the season. It came to me today. I'm like, maybe this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sucks we're going through this right now, but I'd rather take the timing of this now and learn from it now than have to stumble through it and fumble through it come March.
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing when you evaluate like the last handful of Stanley Cup champions or even teams that made it to the conference finals over the last handful of years, you think of being like really good at the end of the season going into the playoffs. It's very few and far between that the team that wins the President's Trophy because they were the most dominant team from beginning to end ends up representing their conference in the Stanley Cup final. That's just very unlikely, doesn't happen too often. I go back to that 2013 Chicago Blackhawks team, but that was a short season too. So it's not, the perfect storm, if you are just so hot all season long, and sometimes you flame out in the first round. If you're the Devils, you just want to make the playoffs, feel good about your game from, a certain point down the stretch to, beginning the playoffs. And, they banked enough points going into the, holiday break to kind of be able to weather the storm of a little skid like this. And I'll tell you what, and, Sam mentions in the chat that the Devils are 0-4 when I wear this Wisconsin hat on Game Day Live. I would like to see visual evidence of that actually being the case. I think I only wore this twice, but I'll give it to you. The Bears beat the Packers.
Sorry, Vinny. I have to cut in here.
Yeah.
I am going to pay a $10 fine for embellishing that record.
Okay. But you see, unlike Marty Nietzsche, though, you stand up for what's right and don't just flop around on the ice looking for calls. But when you think about the games that the Devils have lost, Sam and Shorts Guy, they lost to the Sharks. That was a fluke goal with 24 seconds left. It bounces off the referee right to the stick of Cody Ceci. And listen, you can't let that happen. You have to clear the zone. You can't let the puck hit the ref. You can't be tied 2-2 with the Sharks with a couple minutes left in the game. That's not how you want to play. But the Sharks have now beaten the Devils and the Lightning in back-to-back of their games.
Mhm.
They lost to the Ducks, which everybody considers a lowly team in the NHL.
So
But
did
all
the
of a sudden,
Lightning.
so did the Lightning, and guess what? The Ducks have won 4 in a row now.
Yep.
And they signed Vetrano and to a long-term extension, and the vibes are good down in Anaheim. You lost to Carolina, who you split a back-to-back with right before that. And then the other is the Kings, who have won 8 in a row at home. So,
They're good.
it's kind of just like the perfect storm of, bad luck for the Devils to kind of not be playing at their best at this part of the schedule due to what their opponents have been dealing with. And the Devils looked like the best team in the league in the 7 games leading up to this skid. What did they go? 7 straight games with giving up 20 shots or less, and they went 6-1 in that span. That's absolutely unbelievable. They were one of the best teams in the league in December. And Markstrom, even through the skid, has maintained his high level of play to the point where he's in the Vezina Trophy conversation. And I would have loved for him to stop that CC shot at the end of last game. But, I would have loved Nathan Bastian to cover his guy more. I would have loved for the referee to not be in the way. I would have loved to not be tied 2-2 with one of the worst teams in the league for the last handful of years with 20 seconds left in the game. It's just, you got to come out in this game against Seattle. And, you're not even guaranteed to win, but you need to play a great game against a pretty good, I don't think anybody thinks Seattle's great, but they're not terrible either. You got to go out there and you're against them. They are beatable if you're the Devils. And if I remember correctly, have the Kraken come to the Rock this year? I feel like they did, and the Devils won big. Is that incorrect, or am I misthinking?
I got to look.
But
While I'm looking
I
at
don't
that,
know.
While I'm looking at that, like it just hearing you describe it, and like if you watch the Ducks game, and the Devils were going for it, and they were pouring on shots, and they were visibly frustrated with what was going on in that game. And when you're going through a slide like this, where it seems like nothing is going right, and then you wind up letting in a goal like Markstrom let in at the very end, that it hit the top of his glove. Woo! We'll get to that in a second after I finish this thought. Hey,
Gone.
God.
Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive with the
super chat.
Money
And
talks. Money talks.
Money
everybody.
talks.
Money does talk.
But if you put in $100 to have Vinnie put the hat back on, I don't mind though.
But when you're going through a skid like this, there you go. I love it. When you're going through a skid like this, yeah, we beat them 3-2 in December. It seems like nothing's going right, and it seems like you get all the bounces against you. Like when you go to grab that puck and it hits the top of your glove, and it almost like goes into the glove, but goes on the outside and then goes in. Like those are those breaks that when you're not playing well, when you're getting frustrated, when you're getting stymied, when just nothing is going right, bounces aren't going your way, the ref's getting in the way, nothing is going right. It feels like there's nothing you can do to improve your game, because I've been on those slides before with teams where it seems like the puck you're to the left and the puck always bounces to the right. No matter what you do, the puck always bounces to the right. The puck always lands flat for the other team's sticks, and it never lands flat for your stick. It always bounces off you and right to their guy perfectly. When you're in those skids, that's one of those things where it's like you actually have to relax more. I loved seeing Markstrom lose his mind at the end, because it shows that he's got a passion to play the game and to win, and he hates to lose. And I've been finally, and I feel like I'm behind the times, but I'm finally watching Shorzy, and just in that first episode where he says, well, that his teammates that they don't hate to lose. Markstrom hates to lose, and you're seeing the frustration boil over because he's doing all he can. But when your team can't score, you can't do anything more. And I've been on those sides of games too, where I have done everything in my power to win, and we still lose because my team can't put the puck in the net. And that is the most frustrating feeling as a goaltender, is when you do your job and no one else can support you, whether it's because they're going through a dry spell, they're frustrated, they're gripping their sticks too tight, they're missing their mark, you name it. It's definitely not a good streak for this Devils, but they actually have to kind of relax. They have to go into today. This is the last game of this trip, I believe. They're back home. They're back home, but it's an away game against the Rangers on Thursday. At this point, they got to go into this game going, well, are we going to go 0-4? Are we going to go 0-5? Excuse me, or are we going to go 1-4? What does it matter at that point? Just go into the game and play. Don't grip your stick too tight. Stop the puck and put it in the net.
And the funny thing is, if they win, they will, further secure their spot in second place in the Metropolitan Division and get within a couple points of the Capitals, who are in first. And I don't need to win the Metro. I don't really care if they win the Metro. I care if they make the playoffs. It's really, and they're how many points clear of that? 13 points clear of that.
13 or 14. I think. 42, 13.
I know how hard hockey is, even for stupid beer leaguers, right? Like myself, you're better than a beer leaguer, but it's very hard, and there's 82 games of the highest level in the world, and it's never going to be easy. Florida lost 4 in a row in January last. Yes,
it's the best league. This league has the best players in the world. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
Yes, every player on San Jose is paid. Every player on San Jose is worried about being on the team next year. Celebrini, he has all the pressure in the world on him. Oh, he's a number 1 pick. He's guaranteed to be on the team next year. Well, that might be so, but he's not guaranteed to not live a reality of being a bust. He's not. Listen, I'm not. He's one of the best rookies we've seen. You can argue he's having a better rookie year than Bedard did last year. He's incredible. I'm saying he has to keep that up to avoid, all the scrutiny that would come with being a less than ideal number 1 pick. So he has a lot of pride. Will Smith, I thought, played exceptional. They got good goaltending out of Askarov.
I can't not think of the actor when I hear Will Smith. So
100%. And when he was drafted, the theme song to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air played, which I thought was awesome. But Askarov, outstanding young goalie prospect.
Yeah.
Devils fans actually probably remember Askarov well because he was in the mix in that draft where the Devils had 3 picks. And they took
goalies are difficult to pick. Goalies are so difficult to pick.
Super Chats equals wins from Brooke. 999.
Woo!
Tons of 9.
Thank you, Brooke Amanda.
What does 999 mean as far as the Devils? What kind of juju does that number bring them? Because Wayne Gretzky's not coming out to play for them today.
It's reverse of the 666.
Which is very devil friendly, eh?
It is very devil friendly.
Yeah. Zach Parise's not on the team anymore. Taylor Hall's not on the team anymore.
Nope.
Who'd they get? Oh, Dawson Mercer came back in the Taylor Hall trade. Well, the pick that became Dawson Mercer came back in the Taylor Hall trade. So Dawson Mercer scoring today for the 999. Which thank you very much for that. Let's give a woo. Are we giving a woo?
Woo!
Yeah, absolutely. But
see, I called it. Brooke said it. Turn it upside down. There you go.
Absolutely. So, when you go in to play the Kraken, that's a good, proud team too. I actually saw the Kraken in person a couple weeks ago. They're not overly impressive, right? They have a couple good players, some guys who can skate. I don't think their defense is terrible. Montour plays 30 minutes a game, it seems like. They got Grubauer in net, as we already mentioned. It's one of those things, if you go out there and get a big win tonight, it's almost like the 4-game losing streak. Forget about it. They've banked so many points where they're top 5 in the league still after losing 4. How many times in Devils history have they ever been able to lose 4 in a row in regulation, 0 points out of 8, and maintain top 5 in the league? It's got to be the first time.
It's a different Devils team. This is a different Devils team than we've seen in the past. I'm happy about that. And the last 4 games have sucked. It's probably the best 4 games for a lot of us in New Jersey to not be able to watch the team. Let's just be straight up about that. If there was a stretch of time to just not be able to find the Devils on TV, this is probably it. So
100%.
we're not, Devils fans not missing much here in this streak. I mean, we're all still going to watch team. Like I'm still going to watch the game tonight for as late as I can, before I have to get up, go to bed so I can get up and go to work tomorrow. At least at 10 o'clock is better than at 10:30.
Yeah.
But still, it's you're right. You win tonight, totally different. And I know Seattle's on my list of places I want to go. I've been wanting to go back to Seattle since I was there in 2006. Sammy and I were talking about this last night. Like this is an arena I want to get to. It's a city I want to revisit because I had a lot of fun there. It's definitely on my list of places to go. It's just, but you got to go in there and you got to win tonight. And it's on the players. Just kind of step back, relax, and again, this is another. I feel like this first year with Keefe and this younger team, it's going to be a year of learning. So this is a perfect opportunity. Like, all right, we have a 4-game skid. How do we fix it? Because come playoff times, we're going to have to fix a 2-game skid. God forbid we go through a 3-game skid. You really got to learn how to turn it around quickly. So this is a good learning experience for them. And again, I'd rather get it out of the way early than later on in the season.
Absolutely. And you think of the guys that make the Devils as good as they are. Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier. I mean, Nico Hischier just turned 26, and he's like the older guy on the team now. 26.
Yeah, imagine being the older guy at 26.
Yeah, exactly. Which it did make me a little sad because when I got my first ever hockey jersey, I'm a little late to the party on getting my own hockey jersey for the first time. Now I have like 20, but like literally. But my very first one, I got Zach Parise when he was 26, and now he's 40. So time goes by fast. Enjoy the Devils for what they are right now. We don't know what it's going to turn to. Hopefully something great that we can remember and cherish forever. But, I mean, the guys on this team are young. It takes time. Colorado had to get bounced. They got bounced in the first of all. What Nathan McKinnon went through early in his career, Jack Hughes and he sure never really had to go that low. And then all of a sudden they're in the playoffs. They lose in the first round. They get bounced in the second round. I think they did make it to the conference finals one year and get bounced. And then they won the Stanley Cup. And it's a process, man. It's gone are the days of Crosby winning the cup in his third year or fourth year. Kane and Taves winning it in their third. Like those days of rebuilding being that easy are gone. I mean, Florida's so good. Toronto is so good. Washington is so good. I even think the non-playoff teams in the East is all of a sudden looking like a combative group of misfits that all want to be in the wild. Like there's 3 points separating the final wild card spot in like 10th place in the conference. The Habs are all of a sudden in the conversation. The Ottawa Senators hold a playoff spot. Pittsburgh is back in the mix. Crosby found the fountain of youth again. Columbus is right there. Like, Columbus.
Yeah.
How? And it's just crazy. So every team in the league goes through ups and downs. It's a league of waves, and the Devils are kind of on a low wave right now. Hopefully they're able to climb out of it. A big win against Seattle would go a long way. I can't stress how badly they need to win this game. I don't think they're cooked if they lose, but if they get a big win in Seattle and then come back to the East Coast to play the Rangers on MSG, who I just saw the Rangers dog walk the Blackhawks yesterday in person, and you can't really evaluate the Rangers, which, side story, I'm walking up and I see Matt Rempe, and I walk right past him, and I'm like, if he only knows the things that I've said about him on the internet, like he would probably, and he's suspended, so like he's probably acting on his best behavior. But like if he knew the things that I've said about him on the internet, and I'm just walking past him like I own the place, he would have punched me right in the face, and nobody would have stopped him. I don't think.
No,
I probably would have gotten in trouble for him punching me. And I'm like, and I made eye contact with him. I'm like, this is scary. This is so scary. I was legitimately scared because, like, you never know. What if he types in his name on Twitter? I've had tweets about him get thousands of likes. Not to brag, But like those are the tweets of mine that do the best is when I shit on the Rangers. I literally was a little worried. Like if I was in the NHL, I'd probably type my name in on Twitter here and there, see what people are saying.
No,
Especially
I
if I
wouldn't.
was polarizing. He's
I
polarizing
wouldn't.
though. It wouldn't
He's
shock me.
polarizing. You're right, but
And
I think that's
crazy.
one of those things. You just when you're in his position, and there's no way he doesn't know he's a polarizing player.
Hmm.
That's one of those things where you know the way you play, and you just you don't read the paper.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
go on
true.
the internet
That's
because unless you have that ability to just look at it and go, whatever.
true. Yeah.
Which not everyone does. It's
No, not at all.
so hard to not let things, and even if things don't get to you right away, the 1,000th time, the 1,001 time that you see it, it could cause you to just like lose it.
Yeah.
So my guess is like it's you don't even read what you're tagged in. You don't even read what is said about you. Like you don't even Google like when people, and I'm sure his friends sent him like, oh, did you see this? And I'm sure it's like, yeah, man, I'm good. I don't need to read it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So.
The chat is going crazy over my little story.
Uh-huh.
Zach says, watch your back at all times. Brooke says, I would love to fight Rempe. Steve Engel says, my money's on Vinny. He could take him. Absolutely no shot. Someone said he's 2 feet taller than me. I
No,
think
2 feet taller than Brooke.
I think 2.5, maybe 3.
2.5. He's definitely
He
taller
is-
than Brooke. I know that. Way taller than Brooke.
I'm not tall at all. Like, at all. And this guy, I looked up and I'm like, you want to kill me. Like deep down inside, I know it. I know you know me. I know you know me.
He had no
And-
idea who you were.
No, he had no
He had
clue.
no
No
idea.
clue.
He had no
And I'm on my way to the Hawks locker room where we got like Bertuzzi, who like was so angry. But that's besides the point. I was annoyed to see the Rangers come into Chicago and dog walk them. But I was thinking,
Yeah.
man, it would be nice if the Devils can kind of like pay that forward on Thursday, but they got other business to take care of tonight against the Kraken. So I think we're getting to about that time where I want people to go into the chat room right now. Hello, Ted. And
What's
throw
up, Ted?
your predictions into the chat right now. 2 people pointed out that he's 6'7". I mean,
That's tall.
yeah, he's tall. He's
It's a
very
good
tall.
6'7". That's just under a foot taller than me.
Yeah, like unbelievable. Crazy.
Yeah.
So go in the chat room, put your predictions in right now. I want to see as many as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the funniest Sam Wu prediction of all time just came in.
This is not a Samu prediction. That's for darn sure.
Which is what makes it like really
yeah.
funny, in my opinion. But Shorts Guy, what do you think is going to happen tonight in the New Jersey Devils game at Climate Pledge Arena against the Seattle Kraken?
Man, before I get going on this, I just saw AJ Visco pop his prediction to the chat, which reminds me, I've been meaning to bring this up on Game Day Live. I've got some pictures on my wall at work of the teams I've coached, and on one of them is a very young AJ Visco from the team picture from that year, from the hockey team that I coached.
Wow,
that he was
very
on.
cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of it and pop it in the chat or pop it somewhere. But moving on to Max just told us that Markstrom is starting. Markstrom's ticked off. Markstrom wants to win. Markstrom's going to do everything that he needs to do to win. Now, I unfortunately followed your advice, Vinny, and I put $10 on Haula to score last game, and he did not.
And then he got hurt. And then he got hurt.
Yeah,
yeah, bad. Sorry about that.
So maybe if I put money on a player, they get hurt. Just like if Sam gets a player's jersey, they get traded. So if anyone wants to give me money to gamble with, that's fine with me. But this is definitely a game that the Devils need to win. We do know what the Devils have done against mediocre goaltending, was the best way to put it. So if I sound a little dire in my tone, it's because I feel like I've seen this before. I've seen this show before. But I'm still going to predict the Devils to win because I will never predict them to lose. It just is not in my nature. Not on a Devils pregame show that we do together, Vinny. So I'm going to say that the Devils are going to win, and I think it's going to be a final score of 2-1 tonight in Seattle.
Okay.
2-1.
Love that. Love that score. Joseph says 3-1 Devils. Selecta says 4-2 Devils. Steve Engel says 5-2 Devils. Max 5-2 Devils. Brian 4-0 Devils. Zach 4-3 Devils. Tom. Did I read Tom's already? I did not.
I don't
Tom
think
didn't
Tom
put one
put
in.
Tom didn't put one in. He's further down.
Got it. AJ Visco says 3-2 Devils. Eddie 2-0 Devils. Caitlin says 4-1 Devils. Ted wants to point out the obvious that it's only up here from the Bears. Go Bears, da Bears. I say the obvious very sarcastically. Although the New York Football Giants are coming to Chicago next season, which I found out on
Oh,
Sunday. So we might have to work
we
something
have
in
to have a
there.
discussion.
Yeah,
We have to
we
have a
need to
discussion.
figure that out. Yeah, which we
Imagine
won't
if
know
the-
when.
Imagine if the Giants and the Devils were in Chicago in the same weekend.
That would be sick. That would be
awesome.
awesome. Then, yeah.
By the,
Yeah.
that would be a good time.
100%.
You did miss a prediction here before AJ Visco. Brendan predicted 4-1 Devils, and he's at Climate Pledge in Seattle. Let's go Devils! So Brendan, thank you for listening and watching from Climate Pledge.
Absolutely. Climate Pledge. Tom says 4-1. Jack and Brat with goals. Brooke says 5-2. F 'em. Love that. F 'em. I'm not a Kraken guy. I like every team in the league, like at the end of the day.
Mhm.
But I think of what's his face hurting Jack Hughes in the Kraken's first year.
Yeah.
4-1 from Eric. Let's see. Ted says Devils 5-3. Please on this Foobard road trip. Love the word Foobar. I thought that was a Midwest thing, but love it.
No, it's not.
Max says fly Eagles fly. You know you're gonna hear me saying that when they're playing the Green Bay Packers, Shorts guy.
No,
It's a team
no.
I hate versus a team you hate. So
I know.
one of us is gonna be miserable. And I don't particularly love the Eagles, as a Bears guy, but like, yeah, you guys in New
Max
York
is the exception. Max is the exception, but most Eagles fans, most fans
it's Philly.
from Philly.
It's Philly. I know.
just
I'm well aware of that
awful.
as a Devils guy. But like,
Just awful.
yeah, I get
It's
that.
just-
I
it's-
totally
it's-
get that. But I know all you people in New Jersey and New York are going to be rooting for Green Bay, which makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. But it is what it is. Jay Snow 1-0 Devils. I don't care. Just win the game. And then the great Sam Wu with arguably the least Sam Wu prediction of all time. 1-0 Devils.
I know.
1-0. 1. And now we got a chat about avocado toast going on in the chat. Avocado toast is delicious. I believe the New Jersey. Go ahead.
I was looking to see if Michael Descala threw a prediction in there with him being there as well, but maybe he's watching the warm-ups. But anyway, sorry, Vinny, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Totally cool. I believe the Devils win this game 3-1. Let's get a 3-1 victory. Get out of Seattle with 2 points. Come back to the East Coast with some of the most points in the National Hockey League and keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. January is going to be a hard month. There's a crap ton of games before the lull in February. That includes the Four Nations face-off. Which, before we go, shout out to Team USA for winning the gold medal.
It was so
play
good.
Freebird all day.
Oh my gosh.
Love that team. Shorts guy. I don't know if a Team USA like core at the World Juniors, like I know like when Zach Parise was on the Team USA in like the early 2000s, that was like the first Team USA team to ever medal, and that will always be like the first ever, not to medal, to win the gold medal. That'll always be like the OG. But this group with Ryan Leonard, who was drafted by the Capitals, Gabe Perreault, who was drafted by the Rangers, their goalie, I'm drawing a blank on the goalie's name. He's a Detroit Red Wings prospect. Trey Augustine. Zeev Buyam, Minnesota Wild draft pick. That core that went back to back, I'll never forget them. Shout out to them. and I'm so excited to see if they can keep it going. I hope Team USA's got to make Freebird their Four Nations face-off.
Well,
Have to keep that going.
they're not
You
going to be.
have
They're
to
not
keep
going to be
that
smart
going.
enough. They're not going to be
I
smart
hope
enough.
I hope they do. That would be so sick. You got to keep that going. But shout out to them. Shout out to USA Hockey.
Hey,
I believe we do plan on maybe doing at least 1 or 2 game day lives for the Four Nations face-off. So
should, yeah, totally. But
that would
I do have
be
to
really
say,
cool.
Vinny, I do have to say, World Junior Tournament is in your neck of the woods next year.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And they announced that they announced the U.S. is playing in St. Paul. So
yeah, I'm gonna do my damnedest to get to a game. I mean, it's not that
so
far of a drive.
Here's
not that far of a
my
drive.
problem. Here's my problem. The jerseys that they wear in that tournament are the best USA jerseys that are out there.
The blue
You know where you
ones?
can get one? Yeah, the blue or the white. Doesn't matter, blue or white.
Oh yeah. Where
Yeah.
can you get them?
You can't.
Oh, I have a knockoff of the white one.
You can't
it's
get those
the
jerseys.
blue one.
You used to be able to get the white one years ago, but they're not available.
That's so
They
dumb. Isn't the Four
cannot-
Nations face-off one kind of like a rip-off of it, but it's darker blue?
I don't even think so. I think it's still like
navy.
that same style of the stupid Olympic jerseys, which they're still trying to unload those. Those are terrible.
It might be. Well, I know the NHL is going to sell the jerseys from the Four Nations face-off because they run the thing. So they're going to do what they can to. I definitely might get like a T-shirt or a hat or something, considering, Jack Eichel and Jack Hughes lead the team.
I don't need any more jerseys, but if that U.S. World Junior jersey becomes available somewhere somehow, I'm going to find my way to pick one up. And before we what, you look like dumbfounded.
I just wish the team that Jack Hughes was on didn't win silver. And we didn't know he was ours yet.
Yeah.
I know. He hadn't been drafted by the Devils yet. They hadn't won the lottery yet. They really weren't even in the conversation for the lottery around the world. They were still trying to make the playoffs the year after the Taylor Hall thing. And they ended up trading him and getting bad enough. Or no. They still had Hall when they won the lottery the second time. Still, they didn't make the playoffs, obviously. But it was supposed to be a good year, and it wasn't. And they won silver that year. And that's just a bummer looking back. But
two things. We got Michael in the Facebook chat says 5-2. So we've got one prediction in the Facebook chat. So thank you, Michael. Sean just asked if we will stay live for the game. We're not planning on doing that, but maybe that's something we should do for a game.
I'd be down one time to do that. Just
try
watch
that out.
The game freely.
Yeah.
Maybe on like a weekend where neither of us got anything going on. It's not a late. Maybe definitely a norm, like a game in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where it's like normal time, not late. Yeah, totally.
We're going to have to try that. So Sean, thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion. We don't yet do that, but I want to say that, getting commentary live from Vinnie and I think that would be something that we should do. And I think, producer Sam's all about trying new things. And I feel like it would be just a easy transition from our commentary, kind of like the Manning cast.
Yeah.
It would be the Vinnie and Shorts Guy cast.
Yes.
something
and like we could do game day live, end it.
Yeah.
Take the half hour, do like set up, and then come back live on a different style, like font, whatever it is. Right?
Either that or we just do game day live a little bit later and we just roll right into it.
That's a good idea too. And then bring Scotty in for Devils After Dark or he could come on during the live game too. That'd be great. There's a lot of ways we could do that. I
think we're gonna have to brainstorm this one a little bit further.
100%.
Samuel.
Yeah, we could be equally as engaging with our fans where if they tell me that they want me to eat the potato chips or the French fries, then I'll do it for Super Chat.
You know what? This is actually something. This is actually something that we can do from American Whiskey as well.
Yeah.
Sammy, you and I are in American Whiskey, just watching the game.
Yeah.
Vinny's live at home in Chicago. I like this idea. I really like this idea.
Just sit there and just eat and talk about the game.
Oh, I mean, you people are going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
That was the whole premise of this podcast. Just a couple guys talking hockey at the bar. That's basically what this is.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Game season live. Jay Snow is workshopping some titles. Game season live. It's we gotta workshop this.
Legally speaking, we just can't do the play-by-play. So it's kind of like we're just sitting there, just watching the game, and we just commented. If I forgot what the legal term is, AJ Visco can probably help us. I think if it's historical value, meaning we are commentating in terms of historical nature of what's going on in front of us, that's fine. It's just we can't be like, Hamilton with the puck gives it to Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler coughs it up again. That kind of thing.
Could you imagine, Sam? Could you imagine a football call immediately after? Hamilton scores, and you just drop right into the football call.
Take me and Shorts Guy off the screen and make yourself big and just go to town on it.
That's basically what he does for Devils After Dark.
100%.
They go to Mrs. Wu chimes in the headset.
Yep.
And Scotty throws it to Sam, and Sam goes right in. So, man.
Yeah, with a nice burrito in my mouth,
Oh, yeah.
Doing the football call with my mouth full of food. That'd be great. I think that's
we're gonna have to try this.
Yeah, it's a must-see stream.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Tom's saying that everyone would all watch, comment, and drink. Hey, there you go.
Sounds like the best.
Man, I'd either have to have a cooler to my side or I would need to take like 1 minute breaks to go
maybe we should do that for Devils Rangers.
I got a game on Thursday. If Steven can find me a backup,
yeah, but it's going to be hard for me to do that because I got the Penn State Notre Dame game going on.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Fighting Frenchies.
Ted wants to know if I think Chicago-style pizza or New York-style pizza is better.
We've had this discussion.
It's New York.
But, yeah.
It's New York. Now, I will say this.
AJ Visco has given his approval. The legal guy has spoken. Our legal department has spoken.
Yeah.
We have AJ Visco's approval.
Yeah. The guy that doesn't practice with the laws.
That's very funny.
Yep.
Deep dish doesn't represent Chicago pizza. It is a mere tourist attraction. It's good. It's actually delicious. But our main pizza is tavern style, thin crust cut into squares. But overall, I would take New York's pizza at its best over Chicago's at its best. Yes.
Okay.
And
we still got to go for hot dogs when you're out east again.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I'd be surprised if I guess there's a difference between the hot dogs you're going to take me to have and like a Chicago style. I personally believe there's room in my tummy for a Chicago tavern and a New York slice. I think there's a place in my tummy for a Chicago style dog and the hot dogs you're going to take me to have. I don't really, I'm all about loving it all. So
I know you are.
I'm about it. The only thing Chicago has better than New York is the city burned down in the 20s. Not Malort. The city burned down, was it the 20s? Probably a little before that, actually. Maybe a lot before that. It allowed the city to build alleys. So we don't have a bunch of garbage on the curb every single day. When I was in New York, I was appalled at how it is just a line of garbage. Where in Chicago, every street has an alley. So the garbage trucks just go down the alley and pick up the garbage. Nobody sees it because we're not gross. But we would have been gross had the Chicago fire never happened because the city was very much designed like that before that. So that's my tangent on that. Sam, we can end the show. I know these people got a Devils game to watch.
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
There we go. The whole reason we're here. Thank you to all fans watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it is you get your podcast. Shorts Guy and I had a lot of fun talking with you all in the chat today. The New Jersey Devils are trying to end their little bit of slump against the Seattle Kraken. A little bit of cryptic game here between the Kraken and the Devils, two demonic creatures. Hopefully the Devils are able to get it out and, score some goals, get it done against the team in the West that they don't see very often. For Shorts Guy, for Sam Wu, for and Crew Brew, I'm Vinnie Parise saying, as always, let's go Devils.